Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Okay, thanks for joining. So today I would discuss two final candidates that I didn't talk about yet. This is Grischuk Alexander and Kirill Alekseenko from Russia. So I found only 3 games in database that they played each other, and one of them was FIDE Chess.com Grand Swiss, from which in a way Kirill qualified to candidates. So for those who do not know, Grischuk qualified from Grand Prix series together with Nepomniachtchi, and Kirill Alekseenko got a wild card from a Russian Federation because he got 3rd place in Grand Swiss Open tournament that had only 1 spot that Van Kao took. The 2nd place was Fabiano Caruana, who qualified by playing Magnus previously. So they had to come up with next qualifier, and they went with Kirill because he's a Russian player and Russian Federation is obviously organizing, spending money on that, so sort of understandable. There was some dispute that Maxim Vasiliograf deserved the spot better because he was like next by all the other, he was next in the World Cup to qualify, next by rating, and I think next by what's the name? Series Grand Prix. Okay. In any case, NVL did get to the candidates that would start tomorrow, about not this time, a little earlier than this time. Kirill Alekseenko is obvious underdog. He's 2700 something, by far the last rated. I think he can score like maybe 30% of points. Winning even 1 game would be very challenging, I would say. Alexander Grischuk, I don't know, I didn't read maybe too much, but nobody's putting him into the bucket of possible winners. But don't forget, he's number 4 in the world, so that's a big deal. So immediately after Caruana and Ding, okay, Magnus of course the first, then Caruana, Ding, and Grischuk is number 4, and Nepo is number 5. By rapid rating, I'm just checking right now, Grischuk is 8th in the world, and by blitz, he's a very strong blitz player, was world champion. Okay, for some reason he's only 15th, but in blitz you don't know, 1 good tournament and he could be like in top 5 easily. All right. So let's check this game, and I want to point out the following. I didn't have time to check the to include the Chess24 transmission, so I suggested you Google Chess24 Grand Swiss and you open the game that we're about to watch. So I would do that in the meantime. So Grischuk was surprised in the opening with this move. So okay, Italian, regular Italian. D3, D6, castle, A6, A4, bishop, A7. Lots of games for this position, so I'm gonna check the online database at the moment. Lots of games, you can see like 300 games, rook e1, knight h3, and A5 is very rare move played by Alekseenko. A5, it does make sense. He actually, oh, I did not know that. Okay, so he kept on playing after that A5 relatively successfully. It's a rare move to play. Indeed, in many lines, Black is playing A5 himself in this position. So A5 makes sense. He did get some advantage against Grischuk. So Grischuk was already spending time here, castle, he spent 2 minutes, so maybe he still knew that one. And after this, with every move, H6 took him 6 minutes. And H3 blitzed out by Alekseenko, H3, H6, bishop E3, bishop takes E3, 22 minutes. So clearly he was on his own, and that's only 1 game in database. So and then he played queen E7 in another 5 minutes, so he was approaching time trouble here. Already on move 11, Grischuk had spent 35 minutes or so. That's a lot. So as you probably know, Grischuk is very often in time trouble. I did not check the regulations. I do hope that 30-second increment is taken in this tournament. Otherwise, yeah, I hope so. You can check it or let me know now by asking questions. You can. I'm gonna put hi in the chat. You're welcome to ask any questions or let me know what you think. Please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, blah blah blah. You know the standard stuff. Okay, so here Alekseenko took 12 minutes to play queen b3, so they are both on their own now, it seems to me. And if you were watching through Chess24 without live commentary, so I'm gonna skip to the critical moment of the game. Rook b8 protecting the pawn, knight bd2 developing the knight, bishop e6 suggesting in exchange takes, and here the position may look symmetrical and equal at first glance, but there are two key details that give advantage to white. Number one, white has more space because of that move a5. White has a little more space on the queen side. In the center we are the same, and the big difference is knight on c6 is bad because it's very much restricted by this pawn, and white's knight on d2 is pretty good because it can jump to c4 in the future. So white did get some edge. d4, king h7, queen a2. That's a mystery move to me. Okay, white is planning to push b4 and get even more space. So and Grischuk decided to get some counterplay. So he spends 9 minutes and goes g5. And if you were watching with online transmission, after d5, ed5, ed5, e4, the evaluation suddenly is like 0.6 into white's favor. Knight takes g5. Here I do agree with the stockfish. White was better after dc6. ef3, rook takes f3. However, I can relate to not going here by Kirill because, for example, g4 looks quite nasty. You know, rook is attacked, black if takes, knight takes, the pawn is hanging here, the king is exposed. It looks a little bit dangerous. Stockfish says it's all fine, so I'm gonna run it at least briefly. And let's say rook a to f1, and apparently white can stop that attack. Here I analyzed a little bit here, so white is indeed better, not winning of course, but better. Also black has other option, just simply taking, and after rook a to f1, which is relatively obvious move, black has variety of options like king g7 or d5. In both cases the engine gives advantage to white, but I must admit I don't find it obvious at all why is white better. The pawn on a6 is the problem. If white would go b4 and queen c4 and the pawn would be hanging, so I can relate to that, but the position is very playable and white would get advantage, but anything could happen here. But I wasn't talking about this moment. Knight takes, pawn takes, dc6, bc6, queen c4. So this is the next critical position of the game. So after knight g5, queen c4 blitzed out by Alekseenko, and here Grischuk took another 20 minutes. So he was, I don't know what was the time control then, but he was approaching time trouble a lot. So if you were watching through Chess24, the next move, rook takes b2, the evaluation is more than +1. The engine was suggesting like g4 moves, d5 moves, still giving advantage to white, and rook b2 more than +1. And here, after rook b2, knight e4, knight takes e4, so here they started blitzing out moves, so they both calculated the same line, obviously. Knight takes e4, knight takes e4. Here, if you were watching with Chess24, the evaluation is 2.5. Knight takes f4 is a blunder. 2.5, that's a win. No, it's not, it's zeros. Rook takes f8. So here I would run Stockfish for just a second. No, I have a better Stockfish than chess.com. Yeah, +2 for a second. You saw that. Okay. So rook takes f8, d5, so the rook is hanging and the queen is hanging, so queen f1 naturally, and king g7, very important move, and suddenly this rook has no place to go on the f file, because rook f3 would be met with at least a fork on d2. So, and here was the critical moment. According to Chess24, after king g7, the evaluation is 1.3 after rook c8. 1.3 into white's favor, depth is 23, and I was using the deep evaluation from our premium cloud according to Chess24. So evaluation 1.3 looks like a lot, and 23 is the depth that you rarely see that. How to improve? Okay, hello from Egypt, welcome. How to improve time pressure? Yeah, if there was an easy answer to that question, Grischuk, Caruana, Ivanchuk and others wouldn't have that problem. So there is no easy solution to that one. And Maybe writing down time could help in time pressure for somebody. But there's no easy solution to that one. Going into time trouble is the issue that many players are facing. It's so difficult that I cannot address it in like 1 or 2 sentences. Okay, so the chess 24 says that rook to c8 would give +1, 1.3. So here Grischuk spent, Alekseenko spent 13-14 minutes, and he basically agreed for a draw after queen c1, attacking the rook, rook to e2, rook came back to f1, and after queen e5, black's pieces are, white is exchange up, but black has amazing knight on e4, the pawn on g2, e3, c3, all of them are weak, the queen is coming, so here white had to escape with the king, and now black decided to make immediate draw with a perpetual. Black could have played something else, maybe like c5, but nevertheless there's nothing more than going for perpetual eventually, and that was it. So if you were watching through Chess 24 without online commentators, good online commentators, you would think, oh, queen c1 is a blunder, rook c8 was winning. So I'm gonna run my stockfish for a second. So that stockfish in Chess 24 with 3 lines to consider, like I do here. Okay, my stockfish 11, it was stockfish 10, maybe that was the difference. So I already have depth 27, it still gives plus 1.5. Oh my goodness, 28. That's embarrassing for stockfish. That is embarrassing. 1.5, depth 28. It is wrong. The evaluation is zeros. First of all, rook c8 from human point of view looks dangerous because knight d6, queen e3 comes with a check. And then knight comes back. Somehow queen c1 intermediate move, and white is indeed a little better here. But no need to go backwards. Knight f2 is the move. e3 is hanging, queen e3 would be overwhelming. So rook to e1, and then very beautiful move rook d2 to have rook d1, knight d3 ideas, and suddenly white cannot make any progress. And black is ready to make progress with, let's say, queen e5, knight h3 would even win the game. So here the position is equal. And let me check the chess 24 line. Yeah, it was only considering knight d6. So this is the actual evaluation. It's zeros. I tried to analyze to find some ideas for white, but beautiful. Black is surprising dominance with these 2 pieces here. Rook e2 is met with rook d1, and well, you can give up the queen, but then the queen is so strong. Usually it's at least as good as 2 rooks. That would be a draw. What else can white do? Queen takes a6. Takes immediate, okay, even taking would even lose, that's too dangerous. What else can white do? Not much. The queen cannot move, the rook cannot move. White can go e4 maybe. I did not analyze this one. Apparently black can do a lot of things here, like queen c5 for example. Would probably, now white has to make a draw, I guess. Black would have very strong and promising attack. So that is why he rejected rook c8. But stockfish was wrong even at depth 28. So please, when you'll be watching games tomorrow, don't just say, oh, depth, my stockfish told that at depth 20 white is better, that was a mistake. Not necessarily at all. At least move some pieces. Okay, I can see some questions in chat. Why rook c8 reject by Kirill? I hope I answered that question. I cannot get into his head, of course, obviously, but rook c8, from human point of view, knight d6 look dangerous, but knight f2 is even better, and then rook d2, and now engine agrees that white is the one making a draw now, actually. So that's why he rejected rook c8, and again, it is quite misleading if you just look through stockfish's eyes without considering yourself or without listening to other GMs annotating it. Okay. You want to take my advice to play against e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, white plays knight c3. How to trick white to play Sveshnikov? No way to trick. You have to go e5. I have advantage +1 or 2, but I don't know this until I go to analyze. Yeah, of course, nobody knows what is the evaluation during the game, and that's unless you're cheating. So that's the problem. Analyze the game after is confusing because I lost. So engine's evaluation could be very misleading. It could be for engine +2 and win, and for us it can look dangerous, unclear. So these are two separate worlds that it's very hard to find common ground with engines in the positions that we do not understand. I would suggest when you see an evaluation that you don't understand, try playing logical moves that look good to you and see what the engine response is, and maybe you can understand the position better to realize what was there. Sometimes, you know, it's big advantage because in one line after 3-4 sync moves there's an unexpected idea that you had no chances of seeing, and otherwise you're not better. So evaluation +2 is a lot of context is required. There are some very simple positions with +2, like extra 2 pawns, obviously, right? But if the position is sharp and dynamic, I don't know what +2 means actually. Okay, Komodo engine good. Valery is late again. Well, sorry, I don't have exact time where I'm recording my stream. Komodo engine good, not in tactics. Komodo is good in positional play, but it's not very good at initiative and tactics and attack. So Stockfish is really good at those. Okay. So the game ended like this, and this was actually close to a perfect game. The only moment that maybe there was an improvement, I'm still not 100% certain about that, is this one. DC, take with the rook and then double rooks. So G5 was a little bit too optimistic maybe on Alexander's behalf, but he was playing a much lower rated player, so he wanted to win, so I can relate to that one, and the game ended in a relatively logical draw. Don't trust the engines blindly, especially on a depth 23 in such positions is nothing. It could blunder, so at least try, if you have premium account at Chess24 or some other platforms, try to move pieces around and see why is that deviation. Very often the engine would change that. Yeah, okay. Can see no more questions. I hope you like this video. So Kirill Alekseenko clear underdog, and if he wins one game I would be surprised. Grischuk is, how do they say? Not underdog. He can play really well, but he can play number 4 in the world. Don't forget about that. If he manages the time trouble issue and doesn't get into opening trouble soon, quickly, he's really good. He's really good. All right, it's time to wrap up. Nice channel. Thank you. Okay, so it's time to wrap up. What's your assessment of opening choice in candidates? That's a good one. I'm expecting very solid openings. For black, white can do anything white want, but for black, okay, first of all, not very solid. Nepo, MVL, Grischuk, they all play Grunfeld. And Najdorf, if I recall correctly. So it can be very sharp, or who do I think would win? Yeah, Caruana or Ding. But I'm not, you can read that at any website that they are clear favorites. Opening choice. Yeah, black would try to keep it solid, except Grischuk, MVL and Nepo, because they have very sharp opening repertoire with black. So I hope the games would be interesting and fun to watch, not boring slow chess. Okay, I really have to wrap up my stream. I hope you liked it. Please like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button, tell your friends about my channel. Read the description, you may find some interesting information there. Take care, and I would do, like, after each round in the evening, I would stream about the games, and I would give you my opinion on what happened there, what was the better choice. I would not be streaming live the matches. I cannot do that at the moment, but I will try to do my best to small summary after each round. King's Gambit. No chance. King's Gambit is not gonna happen there. Okay, take care. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.